It's funny how the world has to keep spinning and people have to go on with their lives even when there is a devastating, life-changing experience like Hurricane Helene. There are so many components to this, and the cynical side of me is taking over, and I don't like it. I'm mystified as to why the national news media seems to be uninterested in what people in the Carolinas, in Georgia, Tennessee, Florida are going through right now. This is heartbreak and brutality, the likes of which communities like Asheville and Chimney Rock, North Carolina have never seen before. President Trump is visiting Georgia today, and predictably, the left-leaning propaganda media is furious because Kamala's not there. Joe Biden's not there. Joe Biden said, we've given all the federal assistance we can give. He actually said that yesterday. He was asked about it and said, look, we gave them even before they asked for it. We had money set aside, and there's no more money there. I kind of wish he'd have that approach about Ukraine, don't you? I kind of wish Kamala would feel that way about the never-ending funding of Ukraine. Here was Biden getting on a plane somewhere, asked about federal resources being directed to help the people who've lost everything. They've lost their homes, they've lost their cars, they've lost property, they have been devastated. People are still without power in the Carolinas. The power outages are perhaps days, if not longer, away from coming back. And here's what Joe Biden of the Biden-Kamala Harris administration has to say about assisting the victims of Hurricane Helene.
And we've given them everything that we have. We're on the ground ahead of time, so we're working hard.
Are there any more resources the federal government could be giving them?
No, we have pre-planned a significant amount of it, even though they didn't ask for it yet.
So we got a set amount aside. We got money set aside, and that's all we're given. Wouldn't you just love to hear him say that about Ukraine? We've set a number aside, and that's as far as we're going to go. That's what he's saying to the people of Asheville, North Carolina. That's what Biden and Harris are saying to the people of South Carolina who've lost property and are still struggling to get it back. The people in East Tennessee, the people in Georgia. And Trump is going today. Trump will be on the ground there. Here, let me give you an example of the media response to this. It won't surprise you, but it's worth noting that the Daily Beast, for example, mocks Trump for politicizing a hurricane. Politicizing. You don't think the people of Valdosta, Georgia, aren't going to be deeply grateful and profoundly thankful that Trump is putting a national spotlight on what they're facing? You know what goes with Donald Trump, or Kamala for that matter? The national news media. If the national news media won't go to Georgia, then Trump is going and the media will follow him. And the nation will be forced to witness the despair, the devastation, the destruction, the loss. I mean, there are some communities, I saw a report late last night in North Carolina, they're fearful that over 1,000 people are missing and unaccounted for. How about the federal resources for illegals? Forget Ukraine. Wouldn't you love to hear Kamala Harris say, look, we've set aside a little bit of money for the illegals. We're not going. Do you know how many billions of dollars illegals are costing the taxpayers of the United States of America? Not to mention all the criminals who are, it was revealed Friday, have come across our border. Murderers, rapists, and they are not even in any kind of detention. They're free. They're roaming the streets of America. All of that's on the ballot November the 5th. All of that is on the ballot. And from Governor DeSantis, who is trying to address the nation on the Helene response, he's in Florida today, to President Trump, who's going to be in Valdosta, Georgia today. What did Kamala Harris do? She issued a statement. She issued a statement and posted a picture on her social media showing her, intently talking on the phone on her massive plane that she's traveling the country in. I wonder if the phone was plugged in. She does that, she gets on and off planes and pretends she's talking on a phone with earbuds. She's got earbuds wired to a phone, and she's holding the phone up to her ear. She doesn't even know how to fake it. My gosh. Yeah, I just walked into the Relief Factor studios to start this hour. Text message waiting for me from North Carolina. Mike, I'm so glad I can hear you on my crank up radio. I know you can appreciate the irony of getting a text from the power company referring us to a website when we have no power or internet. Thanks for all you do. It is beyond devastation. And on the political front, we've got news that broke Friday about thousands and thousands of criminal illegals who have come across the border. Media gave it a big yawn. The media barely covered the fact that, as Bill Malugin reported over on Fox News, there are thousands of murderers and rapists who are roaming free in the United States of America. I was kind of curious as to how that Jessica Tarloff, the lib on the 5, would respond to this. You know what her defense was? Well, some of them were from Trump. Yeah, always blame Trump when all else fails. Look, I think Trump would be very clear about something. Not a single tax dollar should go overseas until Americans in the Carolinas, in Georgia, in Tennessee, in Florida get their power back and running water back, until we get out of this. How about putting this country first? I can't even believe that's a talking point. I can't believe you got to say that. There's Biden signing a bill yesterday, aid for Taiwan. There's Biden telling reporters in what perhaps is the most important soundbite of the day, no, there will be no more federal resources headed towards the southeast. The well is dry. We've given what we can give. He actually said that. Now, you always wonder, does he know where he is, or is he wondering who ordered the veal cutlet? But here he is with reporters outside his plane over the weekend.
And we've given them everything we have. We're on the ground ahead of time, so we're working hard.
Are there any more resources the federal government could be giving them?
No, we have pre-planned a significant amount of it, even though they didn't ask for it yet.
Any more resources coming from the federal government for these people? No, he immediately said. Now, there's a lady who's been in the middle of all of this, of course, the coverage, and of course, like everybody in the Carolinas, has been personally impacted by it. Tara Servatius hosts the Tara Show, in the number one show in the Carolinas, the morning show on Right Before Us, and I wanted to get Tara's perspective on all this. Tara, first of all, our hearts are out to everybody in the upstate, western North Carolina, Georgia, and it's true, people in America have no idea how bad this thing is, do they?
No, we're still just finding out. Can you hear us, Mike?
All right. Sorry, we got an audio issue here. We'll try to get that fixed here. How about now? Terry, you back with us?
Can you hear me?
There, now we can. Sorry about that.
Okay, great.
Yeah, go right ahead. Start over again for me.
Okay, sure. We're just now figuring out, Mike, how bad that this is, because so many people up in Western North Carolina lost their cell service. So the media, even national media wouldn't have known about this. We all had to find out about it on X once somebody took a couple Starlinks up there and people could finally connect. We began to find out about it. But, Mike, I don't think America understands right now. I mean, Asheville is trending on X, and Asheville has kind of become a catchphrase for, wow, Asheville is destroyed. It's all underwater, and it is. But you have to understand, it's not just Asheville. Chimney Rock, place I've grown up going. We just went there in the spring with the kids, went hiking. Chimney Rock's a lovely, beautiful, historic mountain town, or it was. It's gone. And I mean, like, gone. There's a little part of the road still jutting out of the mountain, but the rest of it is washed away. It is gone. Then you start looking at town after town after town, 10 miles from Asheville, 13 miles from Asheville, gone, 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 gone. And by gone, I mean so flooded that everything in it is going to have to be rebuilt. It's destroyed. Then, my daughter and I, we hike. That's why we're up there so much. So I know these haunts and hollers. She's grown up hiking there with me. And so we said to ourselves, well, okay, maybe we could still, we thought, maybe we could still hike in Boone. And in that area, maybe that's not, oh my gosh, did you see the flooding? Do you realize how far Boone is from Asheville? It's 2 hours.
Right.
And the flooding looked biblical there. People were in kayaks in the street. So all of the attention has gone onto Asheville, Mike. But here's the thing. I think a significant portion of Western North Carolina was destroyed. That is premier tourism. I mean, that is a major sector of the economy of North Carolina, which basically has three big sectors.
And when people hear Chimney Rock is gone, I mean, that sounds, dramatic and rhetorical. It is. I'm getting
it is gone.
Jammed with it's gone. The downtown Chimney Rock area has been wiped out completely. I got a call from Larry in Greenville who said, Mike, we're all banding together. There's so much love and so much effort. I know WORD has been right in the middle of trying to help the community and do everything that we possibly can. I just have to, I hate being cynical, but if the country knew how bad it was, more aid would be coming. You heard the clip I played from Joe Biden, who immediately said, nope. No more federal resources. We've done all we can do. We set aside money. Can you imagine George Bush saying that after Katrina?
No, I can't. And can you imagine the reaction there would have been had Bush said a thing like that after Katrina? It would have been never ending. And look, Donald Trump, the northern part of our listening area in Georgia, all the way on down to Atlanta, which got badly flooded. I mean, Trump is going to be on the ground. He's not even the president or the vice president. Well, that we know of.
And they're wink, wink. And they're blasting him for it. I mean, the Daily Beast, he's turning it into a campaign stunt. A campaign stunt? How about he wants to help the people of Georgia and he knows the national media will have to go with him when he shows up in Valdosta today?
Look, all you need to know is that Biden delivered that $2.4 billion personally to Zelensky in the last 2 weeks.
You're right.
Can he not show up personally to assure us this isn't going to be like Lahaina? This isn't going to be like East Palestine where you got to dig yourself out? Because I got to tell you, the way that these two are acting, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, Americans haven't seen it because we don't have royalty. They act like royalty, Mike. They act like we cannot concern ourselves with the affairs or overly concern ourselves with the affairs of the serfs. I mean, look what Kamala did. She went out to a San Francisco fundraiser, didn't even call that off. Finally, after she starts trending on X because she's AWOL, Joe Biden, by the way, on vacation, she finally makes a statement from Las Vegas, 2,000 miles away, Mike.
I know. Tara Servatius is joining us. She presides over the number one news talk morning show, The Tara Show. And she's, one thing I love about the work you do, and I've said this many times on my show, is you come from a journalist background. You delve into things. You don't fly off the handle. You're very factual in what you uncover. Here's something that's very alarming. You mentioned social media. Now, we're 36 days until Election Day. According to this post, and we're working on verifying this now, but it wouldn't surprise me, the United States Postal Service has suspended service to many zip codes due to the storm, including Georgia, 42 zip codes, North Carolina, 39 zip codes, Tennessee, 19 zip codes. Tara, those are solid red states.
You know what? And that's where I was going. I actually was going to go with this earlier. When you look at, let's take the western part of North Carolina, right? And we hear Joe saying no more for you. Okay, Asheville, yes, is blue. Buncombe County is blue. It's blue area, right? So they're, going to have a hard time voting under these conditions. However, all of those counties around that, Mike, all of them, they're red. In fact, there's some of the reddest counties in the state of North Carolina. Without those counties, the North Carolina would flip solid purple to blue. Because, if you go out to Raleigh and Charlotte. So if that whole swath of western North Carolina that is destroyed, because it's a big swath, okay? I mean, it goes all the way up to Blowing Rock. If they don't vote or vote the numbers they should have, she may win North Carolina. Right now, the Democrats have no reason to fix anything out there. And again, you're right. If you look at northern Georgia is the same way. Those folks are the ones that are the most solidly red. They have to be able to counter Atlanta in their voting. And again, the less that the Democrats do to help these people, the better they are electorally.
Tara, I know you saw the Elon Musk post. We've been spending a lot of time today talking about what he wrote over the weekend, how very few Americans realize that if Trump isn't elected, this will be the last election. As he pointed out, even if 1 in 20 illegals becomes citizens per year, something that the Democrats are expediting as fast as possible, that'd be about 2 million new legal voters in just 4 years. That means if the Democrats succeed, there won't be any more swing states. It's over, Tara.
It is. Well, look, you can see this perfectly in Springfield, Ohio, right? Because Ohio used to be a swing state. You remember that, right? Democrats are fixing it. They're fixing it by bringing Haitians in. Look at Springfield, okay? 60% Republican vote for the most part. I used the mayor's race. About 60% vote Republican. Or did. But now that you've dumped 20,000 Haitians, what does that do? That's just enough to tilt it to conservatively, at least reliably purple, if not blue, when they start voting. And you can't, I can't mathematically look at this and think it wasn't calculated. When you dump 20,000 Haitians on a city with 52,000 people in it, you're trying to turn it purple. That's what you're doing.
Intentional. That's not an
accident.
Yeah,
it's absolutely intentional.
It's absolutely intentional. Tara, great having you on the show, popping on, and I hope
Thank you.
I got to get you to guest host one of these days. We'll get Joey Hudson one of these times when I'm traveling with Joey and Peg. We got to have the country hear Tara on the Mike Gallagher show because you're about as good as it gets, and I appreciate your perspective so
Thanks,
very
Mike.
much. You keep fighting the good fight, Tara.
You too, Mike.
That's Tara Servatius, host of the Tara Show on WORD, our home in the upstate, and gosh. A lot of smart people trying to make sure that you're completely informed 36 days away. And we better get this right. And my heart is breaking for all and you should see the text messages on the MyPillow text line. Mike, we got lost trying to get back to Georgia. Our GPS didn't work in North Carolina. But look, a lot of people are saying there is a distinct correlation between the way our government responds to something like Helene, the illegal immigration crisis, the despair people are feeling. Hey, look at that crowd at the game yesterday cheering for Donald Trump, and look at that crowd booing Tim Walz. The answer is very clear. Are we going to get it right? 800-655-MIKE. Join us.